You ran into some folks today in Lviv who you and I talked about on this show, a group of volunteers called the Blue and Yellow. They transfer critical supplies from supportive neighboring countries to Ukraine. They've been doing what they've been doing since 2014, since the Syrian refugee crisis. What did you hear?
Yeah, and this is a group that was put together by a man named Jonas and his friends. They're sort of a ragtag group of friends that have been doing this, as you said, since the invasion of Crimea in 2014. It is only since this recent invasion a month ago where they've seen an influx of money, 16 million euros they've gotten in just a month. And there you see it on the left side of your screen. This was this morning in Lviv in a parking lot just right behind me outside of a church in broad daylight. Hundreds of flak jackets, scopes for sniper rifles, drones that they say they're going to, quote, use to drop presents on the Russians. That is code for explosives. They're using these drones to run them into these armored columns, as well as anti-drone jamming equipment, especially here in the western part of the country. I was unaware that the Russians are apparently using drones in the western part of the country, and some of this anti-jamming equipment is what is needed. There's also an American, there he is, an American amongst the group who said he came over actually because he saw some news reporting on NBC and he wanted to be a part of it. I asked him what I ask every American that I see here: how did he get here? How did that process work? Here's a little bit of that exchange. How did you get linked up with this group?
I just flew to Lithuania, and first thing I just went to Ukrainian embassy. Andrei, like military attaché, came out. I said, which company?
Where? The embassy where?
Vilnius, Lithuania.
Okay.
My parents live there, so I just asked which organization they trust most, because I brought some gear myself, bought on my own money. I said, I go Blue and Yellow. First day I was working in a warehouse. Next day, Jonas asked who's free to go. So
Here you are.
And yeah, 3 days later, I'm in Lviv. That's my second trip here right now. Yeah.
And so for countries like Lithuania, who very much live in fear of some kind of Russian response to their support, they're using these middlemen, these middle groups, these NGOs to get this here to the country. They took this stuff right out of Lithuania, Ali. They put it in vans. They drove it right across Poland, and they got here this morning. That stuff is all headed to the east, where we see these horrendous videos, Ali.